Hey guys, Teagan here from BlueSense Digital, and in this video I want to run through a display remarketing strategy on the Google side, which has performed really well for us across a lot of brands in comparison to general retargeting on Facebook. So I'm going to minimize my face here and dive straight in. So the first thing to mention here is that Google bills on a CPC basis, so you pay per click, you don't pay per impression. And essentially, this strategy on the Google side leverages receiving as many impressions as possible across your existing audience, and then only paying when the users actually, or when a user actually clicks on that ad. So if we run these CPM numbers here and just compare those to the CPM numbers on the Facebook side, we take $174 or $175 and we divide that by the total number of impressions that we've received. But again, we are calculating CPM, so that's per 1,000 impressions, and that gives us a CPM of $5.3 per 1,000 impressions. Now, if we compare that to the CPMs that we're achieving on the Facebook side for retargeting, that's currently sitting at $20 CPMs, so 4 times more expensive than the Google side. So in terms of the numbers, obviously really good cost metrics or spend metrics on the Google side of things. So I just want to run through the setup of this campaign here. So first step, to set up a display remarketing campaign, hit create campaign, create a new campaign, then select the sales objective, choose your conversion actions down over here. We're going to use the display campaign type and then put in your website's URL. Once you've done that, then hit continue. Give your campaign a name down at the bottom over here. In this case, we'll just call this display retargeting, and then you can hit continue from there. Now, in terms of the actual setup of the campaign, this is pretty straightforward, but I'll run through a couple key areas that you need to be aware of in terms of how you want to structure your campaign. So in terms of your budget, ideally you don't want to be pushing more than $5 to $10 of budget through this campaign per day, purely because you are optimizing towards impressions here. You're not optimizing towards actual clicks on the campaign. So generally speaking, for the average sized brand, you shouldn't need more than $5 to $10 a day of budget going through this campaign. In terms of actual bidding strategy, I don't have a specific bidding strategy to recommend here to begin with. For the moment, I am optimizing, or I'm using the maximize conversions bidding strategy to ensure that we are still optimizing towards high quality traffic, but then orientating around impressions rather than actual clicks. But I am testing the viewable CPM bidding strategy as well to see if that increases the amount of reach that we can get off that existing budget and improves our CPM even further. But essentially between those, or just decide between those two from what I'd recommend. Following on from that, the most important part of this campaign is the actual targeting. Now, as the name of this campaign suggests, display retargeting, we're going to be retargeting your existing audience. Now, just putting my face up here again, the audience you target depends on the type of brand that you are, and kind of what products you're selling and what the buying cycle is like for your range of products. So for example, let's say a low AOV brand that has quite a high repeat purchase rate. In my opinion, you want to be just targeting your existing purchases from your website. And the easiest and best way to do that is to sync Shopify or whatever platform you're using to Klaviyo and auto fill a list in Klaviyo, and then sync that Klaviyo list into Google Ads. I believe there should be some videos on the BlueSense YouTube channel on how to actually connect everything up there. But essentially that audience then auto updates and auto syncs into Google Ads. And then you can add that specific audience into the targeting section here. And what that does is it ensures that you only serve for that existing audience. You don't end up burning all your budget, serving across cold placements on display. Again, the sole purpose of this campaign is to appear as many times as possible for your existing audience. So to add your customer list into the targeting section, hit add targeting. Then you should get redirected to a page that looks like this. And then I normally go browse and then how they've interacted with your business. And the customer match lists or customer lists that you sync from Klaviyo or HubSpot or wherever you're syncing those existing customer lists from, those should appear under the customer list section here. And then, like for example, here we're syncing the full contact list from HubSpot for this particular brand. So you can just select that there, and then now you can minimize that. Now the main thing to mention here is this optimized targeting section here. Essentially what this does is it expands your reach outside of the specific audience that you've selected if Google sees relevant. Now this is this should be turned off, because this will expand your targeting outside of just your existing audience and will start pushing to cold and will end up burning through all your budget almost immediately and not make that targeting relevant. So turn that off to ensure that you're only targeting and only serving for your existing customer list. And then you can hit next there. Then fill out all your headlines, descriptions, add images, etc. Then down at the bottom over here under the additional formats or additional format options, you'll have options to leave on or turn off the auto-generated assets within the display campaigns. And I'd highly recommend turning these off, because you do sometimes get some pretty bizarre headline recommendations that are auto-generated. So once you've set all that up, then you can go ahead and publish your campaign. Now, just heading back out into the campaign section here, just to mention, there are a couple metrics that you should be aware of with regards to monitoring performance of this campaign. Now, typically what I've personally seen is you don't get a huge number of conversions actually getting attributed to this campaign. But in terms of the CPMs that we achieve on this campaign and the number of times that we're able to essentially stay top of mind for that existing audience, given also the budget that we're spending on that campaign per day relative to the reach that we're getting, I definitely think holistically it's a good use of spend, even if it's not directly reflecting as conversions generated in Google Ads. But following on from that, just a couple of metrics that you should be aware of. Number one, obviously the number of impressions that you're receiving. Number two, the cost that you're spending or the amount of spend that you're spending on that campaign. You can create a custom metric to essentially calculate a CPM for you, so that you can compare that to what's happening on the Facebook side. Another good metric to be aware of is the number of unique viewers that are getting targeted or getting hit by this campaign. So to do that, go into columns, go modify columns, and then if you go under all columns here, you'll see the reach metrics down at the bottom over here. Open that up and you can select unique users there. Now what that does, it should open up the reach metrics in your column section here, and it should give you the number of unique users that are getting hit by this campaign and the average impression frequency per user. So obviously how that's calculated, the total number of impressions divided by the number of unique users, meaning that each existing customer is getting hit about 9 times by this display remarketing campaign. So in this case, especially obviously if you are a brand that needs to stay top of mind, within your existing customer audience, obviously very effective way to do that. Then just lastly, with regards to the actual audience or the existing audience that you target, again, that completely depends on what kind of brand you are and how often your customers purchase. So let's say, for example, you're a furniture brand, and generally speaking, customers might purchase once, maybe twice from you. Then I would recommend, instead of targeting existing customers within this display remarketing campaign, rather target website visitors or something like that to stay top of mind for that potential customer throughout their buying cycle until they actually make that purchase. And then you can exclude existing purchases from that visitor audience that you're targeting with this specific campaign. So hopefully that helps. Let us know if you have any questions in the comment section below, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.